Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is my second video today. Sometimes I'll do 3 or 4. A lot of times I'll do 2 a week. But this channel exists to discuss the nature of the movie critic, to discuss my relationship with Quentin Tarantino and the people surrounding the film. Industry, actors, crew to a lesser degree. I wrote Quentin a series of letters about playing the lead in the movie critic. And it's now so heartbreakingly obvious that that film is a sadistic monument to his sexual control over the women in the film. He has a sadistic evil that he exacts over all of the women in his life. And so, after I refused to let him control my mind and I stood up for myself and said the things that you do don't have anything to do with the movies, that's like, you're touching on something that I'm not comfortable with. I don't appreciate you violating my mind for 3 months. Let me play the role. And so, I contend that made Sydney Sweeney and Mikey Madison, met all of them. It excited them a lot because he's been sadistic and evil to them the entire time. They've known him some 10 years now, as far as his wife. Right? And so, my point is that when I did that and he still refused, that those girls said, no, we don't want to hang out with you anymore. We don't like the idea of like doing that movie without Brian. And so I contend that he's been holding them all hostage this entire time to a degree, and I have only just now realized it, like to where he's literally, right? And so this is like, again, this is the attenuated sort of psychic occultism, right? We have to think intellectually about what is occurring, right? That if he exacts sadistic black magic on me for standing up for myself, right? It stands to reason he's going to do the same thing with those women, right? And so, still, right? Like that, and so that's my point, is that he tried to do it with me, and I was like, fuck you. No, that's not cool. I like that you're a filmmaker. I like that. But no, the sorcery, no, we're not doing that. Right? And so I contend he's been holding them hostage ever since June of 2024. And so what's difficult about today is that now I finally see what all of it has been about. It's been about keeping us apart. Because once those women are with me, that we can, I can, right? And this was their calculation, even before they really fully appreciated it. Right? That they said, oh, we can explain to Brian what Quentin does to us, what he's been doing to us, and he'll know exactly what to do. And of course I do. Right? And so, my point is that now he's had a total psychotic break. He's, right, I'm not sure he hasn't murdered them. Right, I don't know that. Right, everyone refuses to fucking, right, I've notified the LAPD 30 fucking times. I told all of them, I've called Sydney, or I've emailed Sydney Sweeney's mom's law firm. Mikey Madison's dad's psychology, it's like a psychologist's office that he works for him. Right, specializing in schizophrenia. I thought that was fair. That's funny. My point being that he's been doing this for so long, he has no mind of his own. That it's all out here, right? And this is the source of his lunacy. That he can't look inside for control. He has to look out, right? And so when I just, boom, cut him off and said, no, you don't get this thing. You don't, you can pay me less money or, I don't know, something to where it's fair. Right? And so this is my point when I said he can have my scene for free and I do the movie for free, that I'll save you $30 million, $40 million. I'll save you a lot of money. But you don't get my mind. That's not, no, that's not for sale. Right? And so I contend that those girls, right, despite maybe not clearly seeing, right, the depth of my prowess, they said, oh no, he can help us. Right? And so now that I see what it actually is, I'm so sincerely afraid that he's going to murder them at any minute. I don't know if he hasn't murdered them. I don't know. He's so sadistic and sick in his mind, he will project with his perverse, telepathic mind games, a bunch of different voices in my head. Right? And so this is the source of his lunacy, right? That he's done this so much with me, right? That he's gone. He's gone. And so, I hope that they're not dead, you know? And so another realization that I had was, I guess I have to go to LA. I guess I have to fucking fly to Los Angeles and figure out, right? I got to put my fucking sorcerer's hat on, go into Babylon, right? And so I just emailed Mike, his agent. I said, I'm coming there. I'm coming to that fucking office immediately. And if you refuse to speak to me, I'm calling the LAPD. Right? So, no more bullshit. Right? So maybe Mike calls him, tells him to let him leave. Maybe they're all dead on the floor. That's the point. Right? That he exacts such a sadistic level of control over them. And the real fucking tragedy of it all, right, is that they all let him do it. Right? Not a single person around them cares about those women enough to stand up for them and say, no, I think they're allowed to do what they want. Right? I don't think that you get to like take them with you. Right? And so even beyond that, even if someone did, right? This is the real evil of it all. As long as he is ambulatory, right? As long as he has his mind, right? He doesn't have his faculties at all. They're gone. They're gone. But as long as he has his mind and he has his hands and he can like reach things in the world, right? Even if they could leave, he could torture them until they're in my arms. That's the point. That's the point. That the reason they decided on me is because I was the only one who actually saw it for what it is. Right? And so I just, God willing, they're not dead, you know? It's bullshit. He's so sick. He's so sick in his mind. He's raping him. He's beating him. Right? And so it took me a long time. It took me a long time to see it, like what this is all about, you know. But I think that's the only thing that makes sense. That's the only thing that makes sense. If this was about anything else, right? Why wouldn't he just say, okay, I'm not going to use your scene. Fuck you. No money, no nothing. Right? Like, what does that cost you? Right? My point is that he's using the scene because it's the best scene in that movie. Right? My other point is that, right, he refuses to let those women come to me because he knows then he can't fuck with them at all. Right? Then he knows the game is over. And it is over. It's over. He's going away. He's going away. Any of those women will tell you, right? No one else has been able to explain it until me. Right? They can't say what's been occurring because then they just seem ill. Right? And so my contention is that the things that people call telepathy, remote viewing, psychokinesis, thaumaturgy, etc., are the same things that people refer to as magic and sorcery. Right? It is the mind of the practitioner, of the adept, exercising psychic pressure upon the universe. Right? And so, this is what Quentin does to all of us. Right? And he understands nothing. He's just a sick, weird, sad goblin. He's awful. He's like a cloud of gnats. Right? So, if somebody wanted to help me, you know, honestly, just buy a one-way flight to LA. That'd be great. That'd be great. You know, I can't work. Like he's so sick. He's so evil. Right? And now that he understands, right? Understands that I know fully what has been occurring. Right? There's nothing stopping him from just murdering all of them and saying, ha, now you knew. Bang. I'm really afraid for them. I'm really afraid for them, you know. I don't have any way to call them. I'm not in LA. I can't call 911. It's going to go to the 911 dispatch here. I don't get to pick which 911 I call. But I've contacted the LAPD a dozen fucking times. Every time I leave an email. No one around them. Like, literally, this is so sick. It is so sick. That whole town is disgusting. Right? That we have the right to live how we want to live. Right? Right? I don't want to make your sadistic rape fantasy movie if you're not prepared to respect my mind. And those girls felt the same way, and that's their right. Right? And so I never knew what it is. Like what it is now, I don't want to do that movie. It's just a bunch of rape scenes. That's what it is. It's not a story. Right? It could be a story. Right? He's so sick in his mind. He's the sickest man in the world. He needs to be in a straitjacket. Please, help me get out there. Help me get the LAPD to that house, right? Ari Emanuel, Mike Simpson, right? Like these guys, they've known the entire time. And so for a while, it was like, oh, he'll sue, and then I'll give him to him. But now they know I have no money. I have no resources at all. And the thought of actually getting a flight out there, right? Like it might be 3 weeks from now, right? This is an immediate danger for all of them, right? So pray, please. Let me know what you think.